What's going on, guys? I am SimpleSimon, and it is that time of the year. The Comic Book Community Awards is upon us, and every year when the awards happen, I do a little video trying to, I guess, spread the word and hopefully let people who don't know what it is know about it. Some might remember, in the last couple of years, I've done a little bit of a rant, I guess, about community and things like that. In fact, last year, some might remember, I had to film the video twice because I was editing my first take on the video. I was like, you know what? I think I said too much. People are gonna get upset. And then I did another take where I still kind of ranted a little bit about the community. This year, man, this is a video I don't really want to do, to be honest, but I'm just gonna press record and see what happens. Quick shout out to my Minions. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you're interested in exclusive members only videos, extended episodes of The Noob, and exclusive emojis, hit the join button to find out more about channel membership. But remember, your membership is not required. The best way to support the channel is by liking and commenting on videos. Before I get into this, I'm really scared this is going to be like a 1 hour video of me just ranting about people. First thing I want to do, I guess, to get out of the way is I've had a lot of new viewers to the channel in the last 12 months, and a lot of them might not actually know what the Comic Book Community Awards are, so I do want to talk about that and what it's all about and how to do it before I go on about how crap this community has become. So for those who don't know, the Comic Book Community Awards were started by Brian LCS, who has his own YouTube channel as well, and I believe this is the 4th year running, and every year it's caused controversy, and every year just, yeah, I'll get into that a bit later. Cass, if you jump up there. Anyway, so for those who don't know, the Comic Book Community Awards is an event that happens once a year, and it gives people the chance to vote and nominate their favorite comic book YouTube channels. Now, I'm probably going to call this video something along the lines of, I'm not voting this year, but you should, because I think you should. And there's a reason I'm not, but I'll get into that a little bit later. For those who are hearing about it for the first time, which hopefully there's a lot of you, it's just a great way to show support for your favorite channels that you truly love to watch. And I feel like some people go, about it the wrong way. I've heard sometimes people will go on and just vote for the same channel for every category, which doesn't make sense because not every channel can qualify for every category and things like that. I feel like, the first thing I find odd is nominations are open for 2 months, and a whole bunch of people put their nominations through like in the first day, right? And that's fine, you do what you want to do, but to me it's like, you don't know, what happens if a channel comes along in the next month that you think, man, this channel is awesome, and then you go back and watch all the videos and like, oh man, this is my new favorite channel. What happens if that happens? Well, you can't go back and nominate that channel anymore. So that's the first thing that people get wrong. Also, I feel like a lot of people have never done it. They feel like they have to nominate a channel for every category. It's not true. You can skip categories. In fact, this year, I'm going to skip more categories than ever, because to be honest, I've said it many times, I haven't been as involved with the YouTube comic book community in the last 2 years, I'd say. I haven't been watching as much. I haven't been, on live streams much at all. I don't do a lot of live streams myself. I still do watch videos. Like, obviously there's a lot of people who are my friends who I check in with every now and then just to check out their latest stuff. There's people that I really like in the community that I don't know that well, but I just really like that person. So I'll check in on their channels from time to time. And some people just make really good content, that makes me go, oh, I want to watch that. I always say the first, 3.5 to 4 years, I'd say, I lived and breathed the comic book community. It's all I did. All I did was make videos. If I wasn't making videos, I was either reading comics or watching everybody else's videos. And you might remember when I did my weekly comic calls, every week I'd shout out a smaller channel or a channel that I thought that you should check out, right? So the Comic Book Community Awards is just a really fun way to show support for channels that you really enjoy watching, right? So I think it's great for people who don't create content, because those people, I think, are going to give you a really good view of what they enjoy. Now, when I say I'm not voting this year, I'm still going to nominate. I still want to nominate my favorite channels, but once it comes down to the voting, I don't know. I feel like maybe I don't watch enough now to even qualify to vote for a lot of categories now, you know what I'm saying? I don't know the landscape. There's so many new channels in the last 12 months, and I see them around, but I don't have time to watch their content. But today I watched someone who did their nomination video, and I really kind of enjoyed his breakdown. I could tell just from him talking through his nominations that he was choosing channels that he really enjoys. One of the biggest criticisms that's happened about the Comic Book Community Awards is a lot of people say that people are just voting for their friends. It's a popularity contest amongst friends, a clique in particular, right? which I couldn't agree with more, but we'll get to that. So again, for those who don't know about the Comic Book Community Awards, a lot of this video you're not going to understand, you're not going to enjoy, so I just want to get it out there. The link to the CBC Awards will be in the description below. Check that link out, bookmark it if you want, and nominations are open until a date that appears somewhere on the screen here, but I do encourage people to support their favorite comic book channels. Where does this rant begin and where does it end? So obviously I mentioned I haven't been watching as much in the last couple of years. I still watch, I'm still there. I often lurk in live streams now because I know I'm only gonna have 20 minutes to watch this. I don't wanna do all the fist bumps with everyone and be like, oh, okay, and then just disappear, you know? Like I'll normally interact with the chat if I'm gonna be able to interact. Sometimes just have it on the background, I'm not in the chat. I'm still there. I'm still somewhat aware of what's kind of going on. I'm just not dialed in like say Mad Spidey would be, right? I feel like in the last 12 months, especially last year, 3 things have really affected the comic book community and made it an ugly kind of place. 1 is probably Sticky Goose, 2 is Razer Comics, and 3 is the Comic Book Community Awards. 3 things that really shook up the community last year and just made it just an ugly kind of place to be, I think. I'll talk a bit about all 3. Firstly, Sticky Goose. I just want to quickly say, I don't have a problem with Sticky Goose, all right? I don't have any problem with Sticky Goose because I always think of Sticky Goose as when I first started watching him, he was like sub 1,000. He wasn't even 1,000 subscribers at the time. And I always have that earliest memory of, this was back when I was doing my weekly hauls. You know, what I used to do was I used to pick up my books from Big City Comics, come home, bag and board them while watching YouTube community videos, right? And then in my weekly haul, I would shout out those channels that I watch. And I always tried to watch newer channels that I hadn't watched much or newer channels that I'd discovered. That's how I used to do it. And I always remember watching a couple of streams where Daniel and Mother Goose, I don't know her real name, just doing a live stream, interacting with their chat, with their community, and they were just going through short boxes and like showing you what was in them. I'm pretty sure that's what they were doing. And I was fascinated about the awesome statues that he had in his background and stuff like that. So I always think of Sticky Goose as that guy, right? And then he started doing the vlogs and I was really invested in his content when he started doing vlogs. And then he started doing the content where he was, you know, talking trash about certain people in the community and things like that. Some of it was funny, some of it was, you could tell it was a joke. Some of it, you weren't too sure if it was a joke. It ruffled a lot of feathers in the community. And again, I don't have a problem with Daniel. I guess the thing is, man, like he gets so many views, right? So what I'm saying is, how he's made the landscape of the comic book community ugly is that he's created a whole new genre. Right? I didn't really like some of his skits that he did where he talked shit about other content creators. Like there was one in particular, you know, that, you know, got him in a little bit of trouble and a lot of people were talking. I didn't think it was in great taste, but I wasn't like hating on the guy. And I definitely don't think he should have been reported or anything like that, right? But it is what it is. He went down that path. He was getting a lot of views and he stuck with that path. And then when he announced his retirement, I knew bullshit, mate. I was like, if you can go a month not making content and then come back, I was like, good on you, mate. He almost made it too. I was like, oh man, he hasn't made a video in 3 weeks. And then he dropped a video. I was like, fuck, Daniel, what are you doing? Claimed he retired, came back after 3 weeks. And then he started making, this is what I saw anyway. Like, I didn't watch all these videos. I just noticed the videos he was dropping. It looked like he started to attempt to make non-drama content. And again, I could be completely wrong. It looked like he was making just regular content, like reviewing a book or something like that, right? And it wasn't getting the views. And then he came back with a vengeance and started doing the drama content. From what I see, I haven't watched these videos for a while. I just tuned out by then. I was like, you know what? And again, I don't dislike the guy. I'm just like, your content's not for me anymore, right? I'm not gonna unsubscribe. I've never unsubscribed from a channel. I just don't see the point. The content he's done lately doesn't seem to be drama, but I haven't watched it to find out. All right. So next thing is Razer Comics. I can't stand that guy. Like, I cannot stand that guy. I first found out about him when Whack Comics made a video dissing him because he'd talk some shit about them. So I watched 2 of his videos, which was all I really needed to watch. And then, you know, because I didn't sub to him, right? Because I clicked on Razer's videos, those 2 times, I guess, every now and then he would come up on my homepage, you know? And, you know, every now and then I'd be like, I'll check out what he's doing, right? And just every time I was like, man, no one's ever made me want to punch my screen so much, right? He's just so annoying. So for those who don't know, Razer Comics came into the scene and just started talking shit about everyone. And the craziest thing is, I think the first video I ever watched was him standing up for Sticky Goose, saying that all these people are getting butthurt because of the stuff that Sticky Goose is saying, and you guys got to stop taking shit so seriously. Like, I'm pretty sure that was the first video I saw of Razer. And then next thing you know, I see him talking shit about Sticky. And then I didn't see the video, but apparently then Sticky did a response video, and Razer got all cut up about it. Oh, I took offense to that. I took offense to that. I don't play like that, homie. I remember watching Razer doing a live stream, and Rob Fatstacks was on. Rob will tell it how it is, right? So Razer's explaining to Rob that how he was offended by what Sticky said. And Rob was like, hang on a sec. You went and talked all that shit about him, and then as soon as he said something about you, you got offended? Like, he called him out on it. It was hilarious, right? And here's the thing. He's done a great job being new to YouTube. Like, for a new channel to be averaging, you know, a few hundred views a video is pretty damn good, right? But what I noticed was his sub count was really slow, right? Well, normally what happens when you find the comic book community and you become friends with all these other channels is your sub count starts going up pretty quickly in the beginning, right? His channel was going like a snail, but his views are high. That's because no one likes you. Just time goes on, and I'll get into the big thing, which was he was basically bagging the shit out of the comic book community all the awards last year. Hardcore, right? And then obviously had this big thing with Brian LCS, and then things happened, and I'll get into all my thoughts on that. But just, the guy is just the biggest fucking hypocrite. And the thing is, and this is what's great about the community too, right? There's so many people that I like and respect that are on his train, that will hang out with him on a live stream, that you know, that do like him, and that's absolutely fine. I could not care less that you like his content or you like it, whatever it is, right? That's all. And you know what? That's what's great about the community. Everyone's very accepting, somewhat, of each other, right? But then when it comes to Razer, he wants to have a go at people because they're friends with Brian LCS. Oh, you want to roll that guy? I thought you were rolling with me. I saw some stream where he was losing his shit at people because, I thought you weren't talking to that guy, or something along those lines, right? And I'm just like, man, you are a fucking bitch, dude. All you do is talk shit about other people, but as soon as someone says anything about you, you fucking have a cry about it. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Ever since all that's happened, it's just brought out all these wankers in the community, like that Niobe dude. Oh my God, he might be a bigger wanker than fucking Razer. I saw this Niobe guy, and at first I was like, oh, is that like Niobe Comics? Because I've got Niobe Comics. And then I realized, oh my God, here's the guy who wrote that book. Niobe Comics, I've got 2 issues. They're sitting in my to-read pile, but I'm seriously considering putting them in my whack comics box and hitting up Lee and be like, do you want to do a collab? Because this guy, first time I see this guy on a stream, he's having a go at Biggie Shaq because Biggie Shaq did a video dissing Sticky Goose. And in his rap song, he apparently made a pedo joke at Sticky Goose. And Niobe is basically defending that, saying you can't just go around calling people that, but he's like getting fired up, right? He's getting so fired up that he ends up calling people a bunch of F words, right? As in, you know, the F word I'm talking about, right? I'm not gonna say that word. And like Biggie was there, it was like, what? Like this guy's having to go at Biggie for making a song where it's not serious. He's not literally accusing Sticky Goose of being that. And this guy's just having this big go. And then he ends up just calling them all a bunch of Fs. And the craziest thing is this Niobe guy thinks, this is what he said, this is what came out of his mouth. You guys aren't the comic book community. Like he called out every single person. None of you guys are the comic book community. I am the comic book community. I'm the only person out of all you F words that has made a comic book. That makes me the real comic book community. That is bullshit, because without the people who read your stuff, you creators don't even fucking exist, right? I just couldn't believe the shit that was coming out of this dude's mouth. And ever since then, I don't watch his channel or anything, but I've just seen him pop up and just, it does my head. And same, and he's, again, often people are happy to have him on his on their streams, and happy to have just a regular conversation with the dude, right? And he has supporters, and that's great. I just think the guy's a wanker. This is the difference between what's happened in the last 12 months to the previous years, right? There's always been some sort of drama in the comic book community. There's always going to be drama. Not everyone, when you have a community, not everyone's going to get along with each other, right? And any community, it's not going to happen. So there's been drama in the community before. Like I remember years ago, Razer Comics and Talking Pop Culture. And the crazy thing is they're both my friends. And those guys, it was more Matt from Talking Pop Culture was made a rap song dissing them, right? And then Matt copped a lot of flack for it. And you know what? I made a video about that. Never released it because I don't want to make videos like this. It's not what I want to do. I've probably filmed 4 videos, I think, over my time on YouTube where I just weighed in on my thoughts on comic book community drama, and then I never ended up releasing the video because I was like, this is not, people don't need to hear this, and they definitely don't need to hear it from me. I just feel like I need to get this off my chest because the community has become such a fucking shit place to be in the last 12 months. Just listening to how people talk. And just last thing on the whole Razer and all these drama channels, right? Drama is the big word right now. So the difference between now and say 4 years ago, there was always drama. There was drama 4 years ago. There was drama before I came to YouTube. But the difference between now and then is it wasn't a genre of the comic book community. You have unboxing channels, you have comic haul channels, you've got spec channels, you've got review channels, things like that. Drama is now a genre of the comic book community. There's a channel that I saw, and you know what? He didn't even start off as a drama channel. He started off as a, what's your content about? You into comic books, yeah? Oh yeah, no, it's not comic book content. Oh, is it drama content? Not really. What's your content about? It's about Sticky Goose. A dude started a channel and it literally was a Sticky Goose channel. It was unbelievable. That is the difference, that now drama has become such a thing that it's become a genre. You make drama content. What the fuck is that? And you know what? Good on you. I understand, like Razer, for example, he started getting views from talking about drama. So he stuck with it. And you can't blame a guy for that, but just, you fucking, a hypocritical motherfucker. The drama has really become a reason to just, I don't even care anymore. I'm just not even watching you cunts anymore, right? I said the C word. So, the Comic Book Community Awards also was part of the reason that really turned the place into an ugly place to be, right? So last year's Comic Book Community Awards, what happened was, for those who don't know, who I don't know why you would still be watching if you didn't know, the whole Razer Comics versus Brian thing, right? So for those who are watching who don't know, Brian did a skit which kind of directed a joke at Razer Comics liking tacos, right? And Razer took deep offense to that. Very deep offense. Like, that's the funny other thing, man. All these drama channels talking to the camera like they're tough guys is absolutely embarrassing, right? Shut the fuck up. Oh, man, like this tough guy gangster act that they're all putting on, shut the fuck up, you comic book dork, all right? So Brian makes this joke, and then Razer goes and cries on his channel about, oh, he's racist, and trying to make people turn on Brian, right? Just a quick thought on that, right? So think about the type of person Razer is, right? He does nothing but talk mad shit about people, right? Talks mad shit about people, and then cries when someone makes a taco joke. Oh, I'm Mexican, so that's racist. He's playing the racist card against the people, right? And all these people jumped on board. Oh yeah, Brian's racist. And it was like, there was a moment where like people were trying to cancel Brian, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing, right? Because firstly, if you just look at Razer Comics, right? If you just look at that motherfucker, the first thing I would think is, that motherfucker looks like he put away some tacos, right? That's the first thing. So there was only one person I think I saw in around that time who was like, maybe he wasn't making a Mexican joke, maybe he was making a fat joke, right? So he went and cried. So think about Razer. Do you think he's like that social justice warrior who's on social media? You know, like if you scroll on Instagram these days, how many of these reels are racist, right? They're racist jokes. Racist jokes, right?
I'm playing the mahjong. You know the mahjong?
No way, you play mahjong?
And they get heaps of views, and then you get that one person, oh, this is racist, oh, this is racist, right? Can you really see Razer being like that on social media? Do you think he's going into all these, you're racist, I don't play like that, homie. Can you see that? No. I guarantee you some of those views will come up and Razer will do a stupid laugh. So for him to just cry like that Brian's being racist, does anyone really think that Brian is racist? Should he have said that joke? it probably wasn't a good platform for him to have a stab at Razer, because at the end of the day, I think the worst thing was that, yeah, Brian kind of used that comic book community platform to have a stab, and that was probably not a great move. Was the joke racist? I mean, very, very soft, mate. I mean, he didn't say anything about race, right? So I don't know. I just think that Razer he saw his opportunity and he played his card and got the community to jump on his side, which is what upset me, because I was like, man, this is the difference, right? With someone like Razer Comics and someone like Brian LCS. Ever since Brian LCS has come into the community, I was there from the beginning, Brian. Ever since he's come in, he created this awards, which he copped so much shit. The fact that it's still going just shows how much he wants this to succeed, right? So the first year that Brian started this thing, he was only on a 300 subscriber channel, and everyone's like, this guy wants to start the awards and he's only a 300, who gives a shit, right? He's doing something, right? What Brian is trying to do is he wants to bring the whole community together. What he wants to do is impossible, but if you actually know what he wants this comic book community awards to be, he wants every single comic book YouTuber, content creator out there to know about these awards, everyone who watches comic book comic book content to know about this and vote. Like, the idea that Brian wants, his vision is that he wants the entire thing, right, to be one. It's never gonna happen. And if it did happen, everyone who gets talked about in this last few years in the comic book community awards, none of you guys would be getting mentioned. Not a single one of you. Do you know how many channels there are out there? I'll see a comic book channel, I'm like, oh, click on his channel. I'm like, what the? This guy's got 80,000 subscribers and I've never heard of him? You know how many of them out there? Yeah, so Brian tries to bring the comic book community together. He's done nothing but be supportive and be that beacon of support for the community overall. Razer represents talking shit and dividing the community. He wants to say that this person did this and that's why you should not hang out with this guy. That is putting fucking separation and fucking division into this community, and that's the opposite of what Brian is doing. So that is the difference between those two. But why has the Comic Book Community Awards also played a part in making this place a shit place to be? People don't understand Brian's vision. Like, this is what I've heard from people, right? People have said, I've never seen that person in the chats. I've never seen that person in comments. He's not part of the comic book community. Like, they'll say this about other comic book channels. Oh, like bigger channels, for example. Oh, I've never seen him. He's not part of the community. Shut the fuck up, he ain't. What do you mean he's not the community? They make content about comic books. Just because you don't see them, they don't see you. If a content creator never interacts with this community that you know, he probably has his whole other community. If you build a community of people, like hundreds of people that are constantly commenting on your videos, that is a community. It's your community, but that's also part of the comic book community. It's like, Bo from the Aussieverse, he's kind of got his step now. He's only just discovered the comic book community in less than the last 12 months, like less than 12 months. Bo didn't really know what it was like more than 12 months ago. He was in the omnibus community, and that's a whole nother beast. But that's still, to me, part of the comic book community. But just the things that people say when it comes to comic book community time, like just before I was just cleaning my room a little bit. I know it doesn't look like it, but I was cleaning my room a little bit. I put on a channel who had a live stream going on, and it's a channel that I don't really watch that often. I'm subbed to them, but I don't really watch their content very often. He had 4 people on a stream talking. I didn't know any of them, right? I didn't know any of these people. I just happened to click on when they were talking about people who they'd nominated and stuff like that. And they were talking like, oh yeah, this person should definitely win this. They were talking about like, oh, yeah, this person should definitely win this award because, you know, they got the best collection. It's like, have you seen everyone's collection? What are you talking about? And it goes both ways. The first year, the biggest criticism the award show got was channels who were like, oh, I haven't heard about this award. Where are we? Why aren't we nominated? Right? And complaining and, you know, basically saying, oh, our channel's the best. Where are we? This ain't a real comic book community award if we're not there, right? What are you talking about? Then fucking tell your community about it rather than trashing the thing, right? It was just unbelievable, but so many people felt like they deserved to be there, right? The fact that people think that their channel is better than someone else's is just, and that's what I'm saying. Like, the Comic Book Community Awards has kind of brought out the ugly side of the comic book community. It's brought out all the egos. Some people have their heads so far up their ass to think that their channel is better than another. Because that's what essentially a lot of people are saying. And that's the whole thing that I've always kind of had an issue with people voting for themselves. And again, I know there's people, my friends that do it, you know, I don't want to offend them, but my whole thought process on it is the awards are supposed to be about you supporting your favorite channels, your favorite content, not your friends, your favorite content. And I appreciate it, you know, if someone nominates me, but I don't want you to nominate me because you want me to like you or anything like that. If you actually think I make a video that is your favorite kind of content, then that's great, right? Fine, vote for me. But I have no expectation for anyone. I'm not gonna get upset if Mad Spidey doesn't vote for me, or if Lee from Whack Comics doesn't vote for me. I don't give a shit. Why would I give a shit? I don't know, the idea of nominating yourself to me is just weird because, and again, like I don't want to upset my friends, but you should be pushing other channels. You shouldn't be flying the flag for yourself. If you want to campaign, go for it. But I think to put a vote for yourself is the opposite of what this award show is about. And I think, Brian, since I'm not on the committee this year, that should be a new rule. Because to me, this is about, it should be about pushing your favorite channels, which is why I think the real votes that really matter are the people who are just the fans of the channels, the people who don't create content. I think they're the ones that really make the difference. So last year when they announced winners, there was a lot of people who got upset, like, oh, this person got robbed. My friend got robbed because they didn't win. What are you talking about, mate? They didn't get as many votes. That's why they didn't win. It's as simple as that. So when people cry about, oh, like afterwards and they go, oh, this person should have won, they got robbed, oh, and then they're essentially disrespecting the other channels. Once again, and it's fine for you to say, I like this channel better, but for you to be outraged, it's just, yeah, this shit is just really brought out the ugly side of the community is all I'm saying. So I don't know, I've probably ranted on long enough, and I do apologize that I named people in this, but I just had to get this off my chest. It's just, every year I make this Comic Book Community Awards video. This is not about me bashing the Comic Book Community Awards. It's about me bashing the comic book community. Because look, the comic book community is what really taught me about support, right? So in my first year, I was about 9 months deep into YouTube. 8 or 9 months, I'd say, before I even discovered the YouTube channel, YouTube community. So I had 8 or 9 months when no one was watching my shit, right? And then I find the comic book community through Perry Comics, Roderican, and then I meet guys like Metarog, the Grey Man, and all that. And Metarog is truly the guy. I watched like streams with this dude and I was like, man, this guy, and this was before he showed his face. I was like, man, this guy seems like the most lovely guy, all right? Most humble, respectful, supportive person. He was really the one who really showed me what true support of the comic book community was. If you look at the videos I do now, it's all about support. It's just supporting a different community now. You know, my videos now support the local community, the local comic book community, the local toy community, the local card community, the local cosplayers, the local collectors community. But at the end of the day, it's all about support. That's why I know no one looks at video descriptions, but I don't care, because there's that 1% chance. There's that one person or two people that might go down there to look for a link so they can follow someone they see in my videos. It takes so much time to put 30 different links to different people's Instagrams and all that sort of stuff. I don't see anyone doing that shit. But that's important to me because it's about showing support. And I learned all that from the YouTube comic book community. That's when I fell in love with this community, and that's what really, I'll never forget those years. Like all those guys from those days, they don't give a shit about the comic book community wars. They couldn't care less, right? Some of them vote, some of them might nominate, but they couldn't give a shit. A lot of them have their own opinions, like I don't think it's a great idea, I don't like it, I don't support it, da da da. That's fine. I just support the community awards because I think it's a fun way to show support. But I think people have just taken it in a different direction, and people have just really shown their egos. The community was such a great place in those early years. This was like just before COVID started. Man, everyone was so accepting. Like back then, I would do anything to be able to hang out with comic book community people, any chance I got. And it was so hard because of the time difference and things like that. It was very rare where I got a chance to hang out on someone's live stream. But any chance I got invited, like I remember one time I took a day off work because I really want to do this, right? And yeah, I mean, I haven't even been asked for a while now because I feel like once you sort of disappear from the landscape, people forget about you. I mean, I've built my own thing in the last 12 months too, so I'm glad for that. But the community has changed so much over the years, and there's a part of me that's kind of glad that I'm not around to watch all this bullshit that's happening right now. It's just, I don't know, people are really shit sometimes. I just wish we could go back to those days where everyone showed support. Mate, if someone's not your thing, then look, there's people in the community that I don't like, and there's people that don't like me. And that's fine. I know I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I've never done anything for them to dislike me, but there's some people, and you know what? There's some people that in the community I'm pretty sure don't like me. And those people I've asked to be on my channel before. Some of those people have been on my channel. I'm like, I don't even think this person likes me, but would you like to be on my channel? And there's people that I don't really, not that I don't think highly of. For example, there's one YouTuber that I don't dislike them, but they said something once that rubbed me the wrong way. And that's always kind of been in my head. And this person is beloved in the community. Beloved. Everyone loves this dude. And for me, I'm just like, you know, like, and again, I'll gladly have that person on my channel. And, you know, maybe I'll change my mind after that. But, like, yeah, like, I understand there's always going to be people that don't fuck with each other. But at the end of the day, if someone's not your cup of tea, then just don't watch their content. Like, that's what I'm doing now. A lot of it's tempting. There are thumbnails that come up that's drama thumbnails. I'm like, oh, I want to click on it so bad. But you know what? I don't need that bullshit in my life. And this is the only video I'm going to do like this. I'm done with anything talking related to this. People can say as much shit as they want to me in the comments. I'm not going to do another video like this. All right. Anyone who hasn't heard of the awards and they're still watching this somehow, the links below, check it out. Go support your favorite channels, the channels that you truly enjoy watching. That's what it should be about. And yeah, Brian, I think you're doing a great job, because this would be so stressful. The amount of shit that Brian's gone through every year, he deserves a medal. And I was very pissed off when people jumped off his train last year because of the whole Razer Comics thing. I was really pissed off, because that's, again, I've already said it. Like, I don't give a shit what Razer thinks of me. The guy go and fuck himself. Brian is about bringing community together and positivity. Razer is about bashing people and negativity. That is the difference. I don't know how I really want to finish this video. I just kind of finished editing the video. This was the original ending. Until next time, fuck you guys. And I don't really want the video to end like that. So I don't know really what to say. I don't really know what the point of this video was. Obviously, it was about the Comic Book Community Awards. I guess as much as I support the Comic Book Community Awards, you know, there's a lot of debate whether it's good or bad for the community. And maybe it is bad, you know, because I just feel like in the last couple of years, it's really brought out the worst in some people. So, and I know I said bad things about people in this video, which I don't like doing, but that's okay. I know I'm a nice guy, but I do like bullying the bullies, you know? Like when I have trolls in my comments sometimes, I am petty like that. You say dumb shit to me, I'll say the dumbest shit you've ever heard until it annoys you so much that you stop commenting. And once you stop commenting, I'll tap you on the shoulder a month later and say, oi, where'd you go? Let's keep talking. At the start of the video, I did that little typey type thing where I said that, you know, the comic book community, when I first discovered it, was like my escape. It was like this other world of people on the other side of the planet that I could just bond with over a common love for something, a common interest. And I met just the nicest people ever in that first couple of years. And like I said, people like Metarog, people like the Grey Man, people back then, they showed me what true support was, like real support. These days, I feel like I see a lot of people throw the word community around and say they're supportive, but a lot of them are full of shit. A lot of people talk behind each other's backs and things like that. Yeah, I could have said a lot more in this video. I know I forgot to say a lot of things, and there's no point in bringing it up now. I'm calm right now. So I first found the comic book community in 2019, and it's crazy to think how long ago 2019 was. It felt like yesterday, but yeah, I'll always appreciate all the people that I've had the opportunity to become friends with over all these years. The comic book community really means so much to me. I always say my channel would not be where it's at today without finding the comic book community. I guess at the end of the day, this video was about supporting the Comic Book Community Awards. So I'll always be a supporter of it, because I've always, from the beginning, I thought it was just a fun idea. But yeah, people just kind of take it the wrong way. It should be a platform for you to push others, to support others, and not yourself. So for people who think they're deserving of winning something, I don't know, it's just a weird thought to me. It's the opposite of true support. You know, be humble. I guess. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. I don't script these things, so I just turn the camera on and record. So hopefully not too many people are offended. Hopefully I made some sort of sense. And if you've stuck around this long, I appreciate you. And until next time, I'm Simple Simon. Tell your friends and keep it simple.